Hi everyone, it's Nat here. So I have a challenge in my group, Paper Possibilities Crazy Crafters, for this month where we are making faux postcards. So I did sit down the other day and start making some backs for some. So basically I just glue sticked some music paper onto just some vintage scrap paper I have. And then I realised I didn't have any good postcard stamps for the back. So I tried using some letters that I put together. I tried using some stickers. And that's one postcard stamp I had, but it was quite small. So I cut this one a lot smaller and it fit all right, but you can see the stamp line around the outside. So I had to cut some more of the rubber off because it was one of those ones that you have to cut apart. So I was just experimenting. Now, I was having the worst day that day. You know, some days you just shouldn't get out of bed. It was one of those days, and I thought crafting would make me feel better, but nothing was working. So, and I ended up losing some of the video. So anyway, I've got the rest of it, but all you missed out on is me doing these basically. So it's nothing much to worry about there. So this video will take off from where I was up to after making these. So yes, and the faux postcards, I'll probably have to do it in a couple of videos, just keep them a bit shorter for you. So for this video, it's basically just me making some different backings to embellish. So hope you enjoy, and I will get on with it. Last night, I'm pretty sure I ended it with not having actually completed any of my postcards. So I did end up using one of my music paper backed ones that I didn't really like, which I had stamped with the individual letters, which I didn't really like that, but it's turned out quite nicely actually. I used this stamp with the lines and stuck one of my fussy cut black and white flowers on the back in a postage stamp. And then on the front, a bit more stamping, a bit of lace and a flower. Sort of need something there, but I haven't found what I want there yet, so we might revisit that one again, but at least I've got something done. So that's a good start. It's always good to break the ice and actually do something. And yeah. And then I did, if I can get them, I scanned and printed a whole heap of, well, I think there were 3 different postcard backs of my antique postcards, and I've just printed them out twice, so I've got that as an option as well, so I can do something with those. And then on my group, like I said, there's been a few people that have finished their postcards and put them up. And there was one in particular that I saw that I really loved the design on. I was wondering where she got them from. Well, I think I know now. So there's this lovely lady. Now she's Tracy Lee Crofts on Etsy. And she has, her Etsy is really new. She's a digital designer and she started doing some digitals. And her work is amazing. I really love it. So you'll probably be seeing a fair bit of it from me from now on. Just bits and pieces here and there because I absolutely love her style. So she has this kit, which is the Australiana postcard ephemera. Now there's 3 or 4 pages of it, but I've just printed out the one for now. I will be using all the others in other projects, but for today I think I'll just stick with this one. So as you can see, each page has the 4 postcard backings and they have these beautiful botanical illustrations on them. So this one I've printed on photo mat, so it looks really, really good. So I think I'll get to cutting these out and we might do attempt to do something with these. All right, aren't they just beautiful? You could just leave them like that. They're just really, really nice. But it's a bit plain on the back there. So I wanted to get some colour on the backs. And I did get from Auntie Vera the other day some oxides, because I haven't had oxides before, and I tried some when I was in Victoria. Absolutely loved them. So I've got myself some to play with now. So I thought we might try using them to get a bit of colour on the back. Now, I did have here some packaging. Okay, got my packaging. I don't know how I lose stuff when it's right in front of me. Anyways. So, see if we can colour up the backs without messing up the... We'll colour the fronts, really, isn't it? Because that's the back, so... So we might start with walnut stain. Yeah. I'm just going to dab it. Add a bit of water. I've already taken the lid off. Oh, it is a bit different than the ink. See what it looks like. I have no idea. Oh yeah, that's nice. Probably could have done with a bit more water though. It's a bit powdery, but that doesn't matter. Just gonna wipe some of it off. There, look at that already. Quite nice. Get some on the corner. Now it's making the card curl up, so I'm going to have to whack the card under something to flatten it out. I can ink around the edges afterwards too, which will help. So what I might do is just grab a paper towel and just dab where it's real wet there. So I'm going to put this aside, let it dry, and then I'll flatten it out. So I was going to do the two colours, but I'm almost happy with that, but we'll let it dry before we do add any more colour to it anyway. So put that to the side. Now we've still got a fair bit of ink here, so I think there's enough there to do another one with a bit of water. Let's see if I can run it a bit. So I'll do this one. Wasn't sure how the photo mat was going to be with this. So that's got a bit of colour on that one. So that I can layer the colour a bit if I like. So just put that one to the side to dry. We might do a couple with the green and see how it works out. So I'll get this done, and then they can have some drying time while I do the cleaning that I should be doing. Oh, this looks like an interesting colour. Nice though, I like it. Be good in a nature journal with your ferny and mossy sort of stuff, I reckon. Oh, look at that. Definitely ferny mossy colour that. Might have to put some brown on after doing that. Do like it though. Just drying it off a bit. It's got a bit of hair on there. Get that off after tea. Nice colour though. So we will mop up the rest with this one. That'll do. I'll put some brown on that afterwards. Just wipe this down. Now the other thing, because I am trying to do a few different styles here. Let's move these out of the way for the moment to dry up. There. So I have the postcards that I've printed out from mine. And they are very white on the other side as well. So I was thinking with these, with a few of them, I might try glue sticking down some of my sewing pattern. So I've got this real nice vintage coloured sewing pattern. So we'll do that as well. And then we've got a whole heap of bases that we can work with. So I'll just cut this down a bit. Sort of want some of the plain bits that don't have the pattern marks and that. So cut some of that off and see if we think it's going to fit all right. Looks quite good. And I'll just glue stick this on, I reckon. So we'll just put this on. It's got that crease there, but I don't mind too much. I'm gonna have some more creases in there the way I'm going to, so all adds to the rustic nature. Nice and vintage looking. Get my roller. And I can trim that after. Might let it dry for a while with everything else and trim them all after. So I think there's enough there for another one at least. And even if I don't end up embellishing all of these for this project, they'll be ready to go when I do want to embellish them for another project. See if we can get it on now that it's all curled up. That's the one thing I don't like about using glue stick. Again, I'll just cut the edge off. Now, got a whole heap more here. Good way to use it up. Actually, you could almost use some of the straight line bits in that to make the line for the... Oh, that's the back. It's got the line, hasn't it? So I don't need lines on the front. But anyway, you know what I mean. Still look alright even with lines on it. I might have to, I'll have to check out everyone's YouTubes afterwards and make sure I haven't missed anyone for today. I'm trying to keep up again now. I was doing good at keeping up with everyone's in the afternoons until I got really busy. Here it goes curling up again. Yes, and then if there's not much to watch on YouTube, I might find a nice movie on Netflix to watch while I tidy. I've got enough there, I might be able to get them all done. Definitely enough for two here, I reckon. Funny how your headspace can affect, you know, your crafting or whatever else you're trying to do so much. I'm generally quite the bubbly person, I think. But yeah, I have my moments. We all have our moments. So natural waistline, that's interesting. Should keep that for something. Oh, it's going to have a bit of the line on it. That won't matter. Cut the word now. Oh well, I've got a lot of other patterns, so I should be able to find it again, I'm sure. So I finished doing this, and then I will check to see what the ink's drying like, and we might be able to finish inking the backs of the other ones, and then that will probably be long enough for this one. And I will do another one on the embellishing and finishing off the postcards. I think we'll leave it at that for those. Oh, there's my lid. So apparently our salvos and Vinnies and hopefully the Red Cross are opening on Monday, which has been much of a dilemma for me because, as I said, it's my son's 21st tomorrow, but then all the op shops are opening on Monday, so it's like, what do I keep my money for? Some people would say that's a no-brainer, you know, the kids come first, but it's like, you know, when you've been in lockdown for so long, it's a hard one, but nah. Had to get him all the things that he wants to eat, as you do for your kids on their birthday. So I think we're having loaded wedges, Magnum ice cream, cake bars. He wanted cake bars. Had to go get him some Kraken whiskey. He's not a big drinker at all. We actually aren't really drinkers, but it is his 21st, and so he wanted to have a little bit. And it's funny because we go in and the guy asks him for his ID, and his license has run out, unfortunately, so that was difficult. So we've got a big lecture, and it's like, he's 21, and he's like, I was going to say twice my height, but that's a bit of an exaggeration. You know, he's over 6 foot. Beard and moustache and everything, 21, and he gets asked for his ID. Oh well, it's a good thing they're being strict, I suppose. Now, find my paper again. So, I'm going to have to be a bit more careful with the green this time, I think. But we will start with our brown to add to these two. They feel dry enough to do this. So I might just do 2 dabs. Still getting used to using the oxides. They're a little different like this. Could have just done 1 dab there, but that's all right. Might be enough for both of them if I'm careful. Just running that around to catch some of the drops. So maybe a bit there. Yeah, that's good. A bit there. Let that run a bit. Some on the corners where I've missed. It has come through a bit, but it's not too bad. Gotta be careful what I do with my fingers. Oh, I quite like that. So there's that one, so we'll let that dry. Actually, I might just get a little bit more at the top there. Put that to the side. Yeah, messed it up a little bit, but it's not too bad. So I'm just moving it around so it runs to the bits where I want it a bit. more. There's a big drop there that I'm just moving. Alright, so that's that. I think that'll do for that one too. Now, there's a big blob there that I just want to get off. So I'll put them to the side to dry. I'll wipe this down. And we'll get out some green. Don't think we need too much of that. Lovely stuff though. Ooh. Running everywhere. So this one needs a fair whack. It's not running a lot. It's a bit better. Alright, so that's that one. I think I'll just try and get a little bit more over this edge. Yeah, that's a bit better. It's only got a hint of brown there now, but we will ink around the edges, so that'll make the brown a bit more prominent around the outsides there. I'm just sort of like eyeing where the bigger white bits are and adding a bit of colour there. That's not too bad. So that will do for that one. Clean this off. Get some nice colour on my wet wipe. I can keep that to do something with. Just spray a little bit more water on to clean it off. It's great being able to reuse the packaging for something useful rather than just ditching it straight in the rubbish bin. Alright, so that's great. We've got our bases organised now. So there's a whole lot I can work with afterwards. So now I will go and I'll find all the bits and pieces that I might like to embellish them with, and then I will come back. So while I'm off camera, I'll trim around all of these ones too so they're ready to go, but I think they'll look pretty good. Now they're going to be too wide on that side, aren't they? That's all right. Can always ink that a bit. So, all right. So take care, everyone, and I will be on very soon with part 2 of this. See you later.